Eyebrows were raised over the past 12 hours as Manchester United have been linked with Wout Weghorst, the Dutch striker who you might recognize as the player who scored 2 goals against Argentina in the World Cup quarterfinals. Now, a lot of Manchester United fans around the world are disappointed in this. This is not the big name that they were expecting. And a lot of rival fans are seeing it as an excuse to make fun of us as a spent force that nobody wants to join. But I'm going to be the devil's advocate. I'm going to be the voice of reason here and show you why Weghorst could be a shrewd sign-in for John Murtho and Erik Ten Hag and the ideal player for Manchester United at this time. Weghorst is often seen as a big and slow lumbering target man, a player more suited to a Burnley or a Stoke City rather than a Manchester United. But here in this sequence, I'm going to show you exactly why that label is extremely unfair to a player of the quality of Weghorst and why he's much more than that. And what a better team to show you that than Manchester United. This was from our game 1-1 against Burnley at Turf Moor last season under Ralf Rangnick. So we had the lead with a Paul Pogba goal, but then Weghorst was instrumental in Burnley getting 1 point from this game. So let's see what is happening. So here we have Weghorst, obviously marked by Harry Maguire. So now as Burnley are keeping the ball, now look, Weghorst over here, so he was playing behind the shoulder of Maguire as if giving him the signal that he was going to go in behind the defensive line. But then now he sees that there is a gap right here. And that's where players like Weghorst are very important, that they like to drop deep into that hole between the defense and the midfield. And then they can create chances for their teammates. So here he comes in deep. Look, he's asking for the ball. Now he made himself available. He gets the ball. Now, obviously, Scott McTominay, our defensive midfielder, and Harry Maguire both see this. As you can see, he's sandwiched between both of them. But look what he does. Control. And then now for some reason, Scott McTominay and Maguire are making out with each other. And Weghorst is now clear to give a ball to Rodriguez, who of course makes the run behind the defense. So of course the role that Rodriguez is playing right now at Manchester United, we do have a lot of players who can perform that role. Marcus Rashford of course being the current informed player, but we don't have players who can perform Weghorst's role. Maybe Anthony Martial, but Weghorst is just big and he's able to hold up the play much better than Anthony Martial and allow space for pacey players like Marcus Rashford or Alejandro Garnacho or Anthony on the right hand side or Sancho to exploit. So here, of course, goal for Burnley. Amazing goal that was made by this man right here, Weghorst. Now, there's another thing I want to show you, and this is from Besiktas game against Kasımpaşa in the Super League. That's actually the game that they played yesterday. So this had a feel of farewell as he's about to come to Manchester United, if you believe the reports. Now, what I want to show with this clip, it's a very short clip, there's nothing tactical about this, but what I want to show is his mentality. Weghorst is extremely determined. He's a driven player and extremely hardworking, and he loves to score goals. Now, look here, there is an injury, a free kick that Besiktas are going to play pretty fast. Who's this here? This is Weghorst. Now, let's see what he does. So Weghorst is asking for water, but the ball is being played, and the referee allows that. Now, as Besiktas are moving with the ball over there, look, who is sprinting in this side over here? Look, Weghorst over here, he's already in the box because he's trying to get at the end of that cross while he was by the byline, right? And so these kind of moments that are very subtle really give you great insight into how a player thinks. And so for Weghorst is that he's always trying to help the team. He's always sprinting to be in the right positions because he wants to score goals. Determination. Now this is the goal that he scored in this same goal. So in the same game. So literally this was scored like 10 or 11 hours as I'm making this video. So counter-attack for Besiktas. Besiktas have the ball. Now look, Weghorst is over here. Now this is a very safe situation. He's not dangerous over here. Obviously the Kasımpaşa defenders are keeping an eye on him. He's sandwiched between two. And a lot of people don't see him as the most pacey player, as the fastest player over there. But I'm going to show you that you don't really need to be extremely fast when you have extremely smart off-the-ball movement. And that's what it is about. So keep an eye on Weghorst. So obviously this Kasımpaşa defender just sees him again to try to see where he's positioned. Do I have him in my pocket or not? Here apparently he makes the judgment that yes he does. Now look at Weghorst over here. Sprinting, great. There you go. That's it. Like, there is no way that the defender is going to catch him. Great finish with his left foot. By the way, this is another thing that I like about Weghorst. This season, this half season at Besiktas, he scored 8 goals in 16 games. That's 1 goal every 2 games. And out of those 8 goals, 3 were with his head, 3 with his right foot, and 2 with his left foot. So he's a player who has so many ways of scoring goals, so many weapons in his arsenal. And this type of off-the-ball movement right here, this move, this right here, this is excellent. I mean, all of the top strikers that you can think of, you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Samuel Eto'o, Filippo Inzaghi, they were lethal because of this kind of movement right here. Before looking at your technical ability and your physical ability, it's your mental ability to identify open spaces and to make well-timed runs like these in order to make yourself, to put yourself in a good position where you can score a goal. So this is definitely the mark of a player who can score a lot of goals for Manchester United. All right, now let's talk about keywords. Erik Ten Hag, in his latest press outing, he talked about Anthony Martial as being a player who is too overworked and that he cannot handle the workload, that he needs a break and that he needs cover as a number 9. And he mentioned 3 keywords: hold up play, bringing others into play, and pressing. And that's Wout Weghorst right here. He's not the most prolific goal scorer out there, but what he does is that he's a very good link-up player, and he's a player who provides space, as he did with Rodriguez in that sequence I showed you against Manchester United, for the other players to exploit. That means that he may not score 20 goals in half a season for Manchester United, but he may allow Marcus Rashford to score 5 or 6 more goals than he would have without him. Maybe it would even allow Anthony Martial to score more goals as he plays off the shoulder of Wout Weghorst. The other thing also that is very key here, and that we need to talk about, it's actually the elephant in the room. I know many of you were expecting someone like Marcus Thuram or Joao Felix, for example. But here is the thing with Weghorst, is that he's going to be here for 6 months. 6 months. That's it. He's going to be on loan. What this tells me is very simple, is that Manchester United, as they are chasing an elite striker, someone like Vlahovic or Osimhen, right? Those players, you're not going to get them in January. So Manchester United need cover right now. But if you bring in someone like Marcus Thuram, the advantage that Weghorst has over Thuram is that Thuram, you are not bringing him on loan. You're bringing him on 3.5-year deal or 4.5-year deal. You're buying him. But he's going to be a good player. He's going to help us this half season. But then what happens in the summer? If you look at the forward positions that we have, Rashford and Garnacho on the left, you would have Thuram and Martial through the middle, and then Sancho and Anthony on the right-hand side. Let's say Elanga is sold or goes on loan. Well, then where are you going to put that elite striker? That means that either you're going to bring in an elite striker, move Marcus Thuram to the left, hence Garnacho. What are you going to do with him? You're going to stall his progress, or you'll have to sell someone like Sancho or Anthony Martial to make room for another elite forward. But what Manchester United are doing right now is that they are gaining control over the situation. By bringing in Weghorst, what you are doing is that you let him perform, and then at the end of the season, you make a decision. If he performed very well, and he's truly bringing other skills that we don't have, and he's really helping us and providing a tactical option for Erik Ten Hag, then you keep him beyond the loan. If not, then he goes, and then you spend hard cash on someone like Vlahovic or Osimhen. So I think that this is actually a very smart transfer decision for Manchester United, because it provides us with a player of a different profile, someone who can complement the players that we currently have without really putting us in a long-term engagement with a player who's going to be here for 3 or 4 years, a player that you don't necessarily need beyond this year. A player like Weghorst, with all respect to the player, he's a player that we will only need up until June this year. And so this deal could be amazing for Manchester United. So anyway, what do you think about this deal? What do you think about this player? Do you think we should pursue this deal or should we look elsewhere? Please leave a comment in the comment section below, and cheers.